Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I will sew elastic directly on fabric with zigzag stitch. My sewing supplies that I'm going to use are elastic cord, sewing machine, measuring tape, sewing thread, seam ripper, scissors or thread clippers, also useful as safety pin. I will replace my overstretched elastic waistband of my lightweight fabric skirt, and I use my seam ripper to remove the existing zigzag stitch from the wrong side of the fabric. From time to time I might switch from my seam ripper to the thread clippers, but I have to say that I do prefer to use the seam ripper. After removing the zigzag stitching from all around the waistband, I get the overstretched elastic exposed, and then that's the easy way to remove it. So undo any stitching, pull onto the elastic cord simply by pulling onto it, as you can see it, and it's all removed. And now is the time to remove any old stitching that was left after. Nice! Now let's measure the skirt's waistband allowance and take measurements of your actual waist. So cut the new elastic cord about 2 inches shorter than your actual waist measurement. As you can see, this is the old overstretched elastic and pretty much is as long as the skirt's waistband allowance at the moment. This old elastic is about 1/2 inch wide, but I will be using a little bit wider elastic because that's what I have on hand. But if if you prefer the exact same, you can go ahead and go with the same kind. I'm going with a little bit wider to give me more of that waistband effect. As I said before, I cut my elastic about 2 inches shorter than my waist. And now I'll show you how to secure the elastic. So 2 ends of the elastic will overlap, and then I will sew like a square all around and then across from one corner to the other corner, as you can see it here. And this way I will secure those 2 ends of the elastic to make sure they're not gonna break and fall apart. Okay, great, let's look. Oh, that looks perfect. And in this following step, I'm gonna mark the middle. Like I will divide the elastic cord into 4 equal parts, like the front, the back, the side, and the other side. So the side seam on each side of the waist. Once that's done, I will go ahead and do the same thing on my skirt. So divide the skirt into 4 equal parts, and I use my fabric marker to do so I will not stain my fabric. So once that's done, I will use my straight pins to like temporarily attach the elastic to the skirt. So I'll match each mark on my elastic and on the skirt to keep them in place. In the following step, I run a regular straight stitch on my sewing machine, starting with back stitch to secure this stitch. As I sew, I stretch the elastic cord to fit with the fabric into equal sections. So I go from one pin to the next pin and I stretch it as I sew, as you can see it. So something like that. Great. Once that's done, I will fold in the seam allowance of the waistband, and I'm gonna pin it with straight pins again temporarily, just for sewing to keep them in place. With this method, I am sewing the elastic directly on the fabric, but there is an easier way to replace elastic simply by sewing a waistband casing and then inserting the elastic tape with the help of safety pin. This method that I'm doing, it's again sewing the elastic directly on the fabric, and here I am sewing with the zigzag stitch just as the original. It's gonna look a little bit different because I am using a wider type of elastic tape or elastic cord. I am sewing the zigzag stitch on the wrong side of the fabric, close to the folded edge of the fabric of the waistband. As usual, my favorite sewing supplies are linked in the description below, so check it out, see if there is anything that you might like. Also, you can find me now on Instagram and on Pinterest, so make sure to follow along. I double check my work. That's it, I'm finished. Let me double check the measurements and make sure it's done the right way and I have the right measurements. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe, and come back to my channel for more content, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.